Hello everyone and welcome back to English with Anna and James in ClueSpeak. It's lovely to have you here with us today.
Hi Anna, hi everyone. Today we have a very helpful topic, especially if you're travelling soon.
Yes, today we're talking about how to talk at the airport using simple, real English for A2 level learners.
Airports can feel a bit confusing, right? But don't worry, with a little British English, everything becomes easier. And before we start our airport adventure, please remember to like this episode and subscribe if you enjoy learning with us. It really helps our little channel grow.
So, James, imagine you've just arrived at a big, busy airport. People walking everywhere, suitcases rolling, announcements in the background. What's the first thing you ask?
Well, the very first thing I usually ask is, "Excuse me, where do I check in?" Sometimes airports are huge, and I never know if the check-in desks are on the left, on the right, or even on a different floor.
Yes, it happens to all of us. And if you already know your airline, you can ask, "Excuse me, where is the British Airways check-in desk?" It's simple and very helpful.
Exactly. And sometimes I also ask, "Where is Terminal 2?" Or, "Is this the right terminal for international flights?" Just to make sure I'm in the correct place.
Perfect. And if you don't know your terminal at all, you can say, "Excuse me, where is the departure area for international flights?" That helps a lot because many airports have one area for domestic flights and another for international ones.
Very useful indeed. So yes, international flights are flights to other countries, like Spain, Italy, or Japan. And domestic flights stay inside the country. For example, London to Edinburgh or Manchester to Belfast.
And don't forget, if you're really not sure where to go, you can also ask, "Where can I find the information desk?" The staff there are usually very kind and can tell you exactly where to walk.
And they always point in a direction and say, "Just follow the signs." But personally, I always miss at least one sign.
Same here. But that's why practicing these simple little questions helps so much. When you speak clearly and politely, people at the airport understand you easily.
Absolutely. And British people love polite questions. A simple, "Excuse me," at the start makes everything smoother.
So, once you've found your terminal and the check-in area, you're finally ready for the next step.
Yes, checking in for your flight. And that is our next chapter.
Right, James. So after you find the right terminal, the next big step is checking in for your flight. This is the moment when everything starts to feel real, isn't it?
Oh yes, when I see the big screens, the airline desks, and people queuing with their bags, I think, okay, this is it. I'm actually travelling.
Exactly. And checking in is usually very simple, but it's good to know the right phrases. What do you normally say when you arrive at the desk?
Well, I usually smile, because staff are friendlier when you smile, and then I say, "Hello, I'm checking in for flight BA217, or "Good morning, I have a flight to Paris. My name is James Carter."
Perfect examples. Clear, polite, and easy to understand. Then, the staff member will normally say something like, "Can I see your passport, please?"
Yes, always have your passport ready. Don't keep it deep inside your bag under your sandwiches and socks.
Good advice. After that, they'll ask you about your luggage. Usually, "Do you have any checked bags today?"
Checked bags are the big suitcases that go inside the plane, not with you in the cabin. If you only have a small bag, you can say, "No checked bags, just hand luggage."
And sometimes they ask, "Are you checking any luggage?" It means the same thing, but it's good for students to hear both versions.
Exactly. And then comes my favourite part, choosing a seat.
Oh yes, you love your seat choices.
I do. If you want to choose, you can say, "Can I have a window seat, please?" Or, "Can I have an aisle seat, please?" The aisle seat is the one next to the walkway.
James always wants the aisle seat because he likes stretching his legs and buying tea every 20 minutes.
True. Very true.
Another important thing is the weight limit. If you're not sure, ask, what is the weight limit for checked bags? Some flights allow 23 kilos, others more or less.
And if your bag is too heavy, you might have to pay extra money. So yes, better to check before you pack your entire house.
Definitely. The staff will then give you your boarding pass, usually with your gate number and seat number printed clearly.
And once you have that, you're officially ready for the next big step.
Airport security. And that is coming in the next chapter. Right then, James. After checking in, we move to the part that many travellers feel a bit nervous about. Airport security.
Yes, the moment when you suddenly think, did I leave something strange in my bag? Even when you know you didn't.
Exactly. But don't worry. The English you need here is very simple, and the staff are usually very helpful.
When you arrive at security, you'll see trays, big plastic boxes, and a long belt where you put your things. A staff member might say, "Please put your bags in the tray," or "Please remove your laptop."
Yes, laptops must go on their own, in a separate tray. If you forget, they'll just remind you politely.
And sometimes they say, "Please take off your shoes and belt." Not always, but don't be surprised if they ask.
If you're unsure, you can simply ask, "Do I need to take off my shoes?" A short, polite question is always fine.
Another important thing is liquids. You cannot take big bottles of water or large shampoo bottles in your hand luggage. So you can ask, "Are there any restrictions on liquids in my carry-on?"
And yes, the answer is always yes. Liquids must be small, usually under 100 millilitres, and inside a clear plastic bag.
After you put everything on the belt, you walk through a small gate, the metal detector. If it beeps, don't panic.
Yes, please don't panic. The staff might say, "Please step back," or "Please empty your pockets." Just listen calmly and follow the instructions.
It's usually very quick. They just want to make sure everything is safe for everyone.
And once your bags come out on the other side and you put your shoes back on, you've survived airport security.
A great victory. Now you're free to walk into the shopping area, buy a sandwich, or drink a nice cup of tea.
But before tea, you need to find your gate.
Oh yes, finding your gate is the next important step. And that's what we'll talk about in the next chapter.
Right, James. After security, most international travellers go to passport control. This part can feel a bit serious, can't it?
Oh yes, everyone suddenly walks very quietly, as if they're in a library. Even I stand up straighter for no reason at all.
Same here. But honestly, passport control is usually quick, and the English you need is simple. You just need to understand a few short questions.
The officer will take your passport and may ask, "Purpose of your visit?" It means, why are you coming to this country?
And you can answer with something easy like, for tourism, or for a holiday, or even to visit family. No long sentences needed. A2 English is perfect here.
They might also ask, "How long will you stay?" And you can say, "For 1 week," or "For 10 days." Just keep it short and clear.
Another common question is, where will you stay? They just want to know your hotel or your accommodation. You can say, at the River Park Hotel, or with my friends in London.
It's a good idea to have your hotel address written down somewhere, on your phone or on paper, just in case they want to check it.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes they ask, do you have a return ticket? They want to know that you're leaving the country after your holiday.
You can show your ticket and say, "Yes, here it is." and that's usually enough.
So really, there's nothing to worry about. The officers ain't trying to trick you. They just need to confirm some basic information.
And remember to breathe. If you look too nervous, they might think your suitcase is full of marmalade or something unusual.
Oh dear, imagine that. But yes, stay relaxed, stay polite, and use simple British English. It works every time.
Once the officer stamps your passport, you're free to go. And the next step is
Finding your gate, a very important part of airport travel.
and that's exactly what we'll look at in the next chapter.
So James, after passport control, you enter the main part of the airport again. And now you need to find your gate. This is where many travellers start walking in circles.
Yes, absolutely. I always look up at the signs, then down at my boarding pass, then up again, as if the sign will suddenly move to a different place.
To be fair, some gates really are far away. I once had to walk for 15 minutes just to reach gate 57.
Really? That's practically a morning workout. But yes, your boarding pass is your best friend here. It shows the gate number very clearly, something like Gate 34 or Gate A10.
And once you see the number, just follow the yellow signs. British airports love yellow signs for directions. They're usually very easy to see.
If you can't find the gate, don't worry. You can always ask someone. A nice, simple question is, "Excuse me, where is Gate 34? Or, "Can you help me find my gate?"
Yes, and people at airports are usually very friendly. Many travellers understand exactly how confusing airports can be, so they're happy to help.
One thing students must remember is that gates can change. So even if your boarding pass says Gate 12, it might suddenly become Gate 18.
Oh yes, that classic moment. You buy a cup of tea, sit down comfortably, and then hear, "Attention please, gate change for flight BA217.
And then everyone stands up at the same time, like a small stampede.
Exactly. That's why it's important to check the big screens often. They show your flight number, destination, departure time, and the most important part, the current gate.
The screens update quickly, so it's a good habit to glance at them every few minutes, especially if your flight is soon.
Once you finally find your gate, you can sit down, relax, and maybe read a book or listen to some music.
Yes, that little calm moment before boarding is wonderful. You've walked all over the airport, and now you can just breathe.
And of course, you might hear important announcements. But we'll talk about announcements and waiting at the gate in the next chapter.
Perfect.
So James, once you find your gate and sit down, there's usually a bit of waiting time before boarding starts. It's a moment I actually enjoy.
Yes, it's the calm before the storm. You finally stop walking, take a breath, and think, right, I made it. Sometimes I treat myself to a sandwich or a cup of tea.
A very British choice. Tea at the airport. Classic. But while you're waiting, it's important to listen to the announcements.
Absolutely. The loudspeaker might say something like, "Flight BA217 to Paris is now boarding," or "Passengers for flight EZ123, please proceed to gate 10."
And remember, boarding means it's time to go onto the plane. So when you hear "now boarding," you should collect your things and get ready.
Another useful word is delay. Sometimes you hear, "There is a delay for flight BA217. A delay means the flight will leave later than planned.
Not the best news, but very common. If you're not sure what's happening, you can go to the desk at the gate and ask politely, "Excuse me, is the flight on time?" Or, "Has the flight been delayed?"
And the staff will tell you the latest information. They're used to helping nervous travellers.
While waiting, some people like to talk to other passengers. You can say, "Are you also going to Paris?" Or, "Is this the queue for flight BA217?
Yes, Starting a little conversation is great practice, and it makes the time pass more quickly. Many people are happy to chat, especially if they're travelling alone.
Then, after a little while, you'll hear the magic words again. Flight BA217 is now ready for boarding. Sometimes they board by groups, for example, we are now boarding Group 1, or rows 20 to 30.
If you're not sure, just ask, "Is it my turn to board?" Very simple and very British.
Yes, better to ask than to stand up too early and block the walkway.
When your group is called, you join the queue, show your boarding pass, and you're nearly on the plane.
And that takes us to our next chapter, boarding and speaking on the plane.
Let's go.
Right then, James, the moment has arrived. Your flight is boarding, your gate is open, and people are slowly getting into a queue. How do you feel at this moment?
Honestly, a mix of excitement and panic. I always check my pockets again. Passport, phone, boarding pass. Even though I checked them 5 seconds earlier.
Yes, we all do that little pocket dance. But boarding is actually very simple. When it's your turn in the queue, the staff will say, "Boarding pass, please."
And you hand it over with a polite smile. They scan it and tell you, "Thank you," or "Enjoy your flight." Very friendly, very British.
Once you walk down the corridor or the stairs to the plane, the flight attendants greet you. Sometimes they say, "Good afternoon," or "Welcome on board."
And then comes the part that always confuses me. Finding my seat. The seats have numbers and letters like 12A or 23C. The number is the row, the letter is the position.
If you're not sure, just ask, "Excuse me, where is seat 23A?" The flight attendants are always happy to help.
When you reach your seat, you can put your bag in the overhead compartment, the space above your head, or under the seat in front of you.
Yes, but don't block the aisle. People need to walk past, and British passengers love a good queue, but not a blocked one.
Absolutely. If you take too long, you'll feel 20 polite British stares behind you.
Once you sit down, the flight attendants will check that everyone has their seatbelt on. During the flight, if you need something, you can ask simple questions like, "Excuse me, can I have some water, please? Do you have any snacks?" Or, "May I have a blanket?"
They're there to help you feel comfortable. And if you feel cold, tired, or a bit nervous, it's completely fine to say so. They hear it all the time.
Another useful phrase is, "Where is the toilet, please?" On a plane, people also call it the lavatory.
Yes, lavatory sounds very formal, but it's the correct word on a plane. You'll hear flight attendants use it often.
If you ever feel unwell during the flight, you can say, "I don't feel well," and they will assist you straight away.
They're trained for this. So again, simple, polite English works perfectly.
After some time, maybe a short flight or maybe a long one, the plane lands and you're almost at your destination.
And the next step is finding your luggage.
Exactly. And that's what we'll talk about in the next chapter. So, James, after landing, everyone stands up at the same time, even though the doors aren't open yet.
Yes, the classic moment. But once you leave the plane, you follow the signs for baggage claim or baggage reclaim.
The signs usually show a suitcase symbol. Very clear. When you arrive, you'll see big screens with flight numbers and carousel numbers.
A carousel is the big moving belt where the suitcases come out. The screen might say BA217 Carousel 5.
Then you wait. And wait. And hope your bag is not the last one.
Or hope it's not someone else's suitcase that looks exactly like yours.
Yes, that's why it's good to have a colourful tag or ribbon on your bag. Makes life easier.
When your suitcase arrives, you can say, "There it is," and grab it carefully.
But if your bag doesn't arrive, don't panic. You can go to the lost luggage desk and say, "Excuse me, I can't find my luggage," or "My bag is lost."
They will ask for your baggage tag, the little sticker you get at check-in, and they'll help you track your bag.
And once you have your luggage, you're ready to leave the airport and begin your trip.
A brilliant moment. Freedom at last.
And that brings us to our final chapter.
And there we are, James. From the moment you enter the airport to the moment you walk out with your suitcase. A full journey in simple British English.
Yes, and I hope our listeners feel more confident now. Airports don't need to be scary, not with the right phrases.
Absolutely. And remember, every time you travel, you get better. Even small questions like, "Where is gate 10?" or "Can I have some water, please?" make a big difference.
And if something goes wrong, like a delay or a missing suitcase, just breathe. Stay polite and use your lovely British A2 English.
Now we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments, what was your most memorable airport moment? Funny, stressful, surprising? We love them all.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow the channel. We have many more simple, friendly British English conversations coming soon.
Yes, more everyday situations, more useful phrases, and more confidence for your real life.
So stay with us. Your English journey is just taking off.
Bye-bye.
And see you in the next episode. You really don't want to miss it.